What's up, dudes? I'm the Dominicator, and in this video, I'm gonna hypnotize you to become a zombie. As in all of my videos, you'll be asked to leave a comment at the end while hypnotized, so go ahead and log into an account that you can use for that. Mute any distractions and continue when you're ready to get hypnotized. To begin, I just want you to look at the spiral in front of you, and to notice how it captivates your attention as you look at it. And the more that you look at it, the more that it does so, the more that it seems to draw you in, to pull you in. And the more that it does, at the same time, the more that the sound of my voice just relaxes you. And just relaxes you, so you feel wonderful waves of relaxation and pleasantness from the sound of my voice that seem to just go in through the airwaves, right into your ears, into your mind. Then they just melt away all of the thoughts and cares and worries and stresses and tensions inside of your mind. And you can even imagine that the sound of my voice itself is melting away all of your thoughts. It's just melting them away. It's just as if your thoughts are like a stream of words that cross in front of your mind, but the moment that they meet with the sound of my voice, they just melt away. They just melt away inside of you. They just melt away and dripping down and dropping down into a wonderful, wonderful wave of pleasantness and relaxation that just feels so much better. It feels so much better just to feel that mind-melting feeling that the more that you listen to the sound of my voice, the more that you feel it, and the more that you want to feel it, the deeper down that you just want to sink into that wonderful and mindless state. And the more that you look at the spiral in front of you, the more that it feels as if all of those melted thoughts are just being drawn out of you, as if they're just being sucked out of you. And it feels as if the sound of my voice has a heaviness about it, a heaviness that reaches into your mind and weighs down all of the thoughts in your mind. It weighs down the mind itself. And it becomes so heavy, and each and every single thought in the mind just becomes so heavy that you can barely hold any thoughts in your mind at all. You can barely hold any thoughts in your mind at all. And the moment that those thoughts meet with the sound of my voice, they just melt away. They just melt away as they're drawn right out of you by the spiral. And the mind itself just seems to be melting and dripping down, dropping down into wonderful waves of pleasantness instead, before being drawn out and sucked out by the spiral in front of you. And you can feel with each and every passing moment the feeling of magnetism and of intensity from the spiral that is just becoming so much more intense with each and every passing second. Then it has such a compelling and a magnetic feeling about it that it becomes harder and harder to look away. Then, in fact, you might feel a magnetism in your body, a magnetism in your mind, as if it's drawing out your mind, as if it's sucking out your mind. But that's just fine, because all you have to do is just to feel and to experience the wonderful and mind-melting feeling and effect as it does so. And all that you have to do is just continue to listen to the sound of my voice as you feel an even more compelling and even more magnetic feeling from the sound of my voice and from the suggestions and the commands that I give you. And as you feel a wonderful, warm, and masculine dominant tone from my voice that wraps around your mind just like a blanket, and all you want to do is just to sink down even further, then even faster into it. And you feel such a feeling of heaviness over the mind and over the eyelids and in the body, then all the mind wants to do is just to go down, to drop down, to snap down into a completely and totally relaxed and passive and even obedient state of mind. A state of mind in which all that you want to do and all that you can do is just to follow and to obey the suggestions and the commands that I give you. And it's going to feel so good that you'll feel a wonderful wave, a rush of pleasantness as you snap down into that state. In a moment, I'm going to snap my fingers and say the word sleep. And the shock of that snap is going to be so great, it will be just as if a switch is flipped off inside of your mind as you snap down into a completely and totally blank and mind-melted state. And now, sleep. Sleep as you drift down, as you go down, as you drop down and sink down even more so into a wonderful, completely and totally relaxed, passive and obedient state. And yet even as you do so, you may still feel the feeling of the spiral drawing out each and every single thought, idea inside of your mind, drawing out to the mind itself, and the feeling of heaviness from the sound of my voice. That is just so great and so intense that you can barely hold any thoughts in your mind at all. All that you can do is to sink down, to go down, to drop down even further and even faster into that state. As you feel a magnetic and a compelling feeling from the sound of my voice that is becoming even more powerful with each and every single word that I say. It seems to work its way right into your mind, where it takes root and takes hold and seeps deeply inside of the unconscious mind. And it draws you along to follow and even to obey the commands and the suggestions that I give you. And yet, it doesn't even matter at all that you feel that magnetic and that compelling feeling so powerfully. All that matters is the wonderful waves of relaxation and of pleasantness that you feel as you follow and obey those commands, as you feel that magnetic and compelling and masculine persuasiveness from the sound of my voice that magnetizes you, that compels you to follow and to obey the suggestions and the commands that I give you. And the more that you hear and that you feel that masculine dominance from the sound of my voice, the more that you just want to submit to it instead. The more that you just want to submit to it. And the more that you do, the more that I slip into the role of your master. And that just feels so good to hear that word master. Just to imagine having a dominant male authority figure who tells you exactly what it is that he wants you to do. That just feels so good. That you can feel yourself sinking down and dropping down even more, even further, then even faster under that domination. That just feels so good. And all you want to do now is just to follow and to obey the commands that I give you, the commands of your master. Now in a moment I'm going to snap my fingers. When I do, then your hands are going to begin to float up right out in front of you as your arms will tend towards an outstretched position right in front of you, just like a zombie. And you can already feel a floating and a lifting, a jerking and a rising feeling and emotion inside of those hands. But now, as they begin to lift up and to rise up, the more that they do so, the more and more that you feel just like a mindless and obedient zombie. A mindless and obedient zombie with no thoughts of its own. A mindless and obedient zombie that can only obey its master. And yet, at the same time, that just feels so good. So good to slip down, to drop down, and to sink down even more into that mindless and obedient state. And now, in a moment, I'm going to give you some phrases to repeat. If I say, for example, you will obey me, then you'll say, I will obey you, master. Once I give you a phrase, and I'll snap my fingers. When I do, then those words are going to go right in through your ears. They'll be translated by your brain. They'll become the complete and total and absolute truth in that moment that you speak them. And so if I say, you will serve me, then you'll say, I will serve you, master. And now, you will obey me. You will serve me. You will worship me. Awesome. And now soon I'll snap my fingers, and when I do, then those outstretched arms are going to relax completely and totally as you sink down, go down and drop down even further down into that mindless and zombie-like state. And now, just relax. Relax as you continue to go down, to drop down, to sink down, even more so, under that domination. That just feels so good. That's all that you want to do, and all that you can do. And as you continue to listen to that warm and masculine dominant tone from the sound of my voice, and the more that you do so, the more that all you want to do is just to obey and serve and worship your master. So much so that whenever I bring you back up into the waking world, that you're going to leave a comment for me. Even once your eyes first open, it will be as though your mind is completely and totally blank, and that your body and mind are moving all by themselves to leave a comment for me that says, I must obey, serve, and worship Master Dominic. You'll leave me a comment that says, I must obey, serve, and worship Master Dominic. And once you do, you'll feel a wonderful rush and a wave of pleasantness, knowing that to be the complete and total and absolute truth. It's going to feel so good to feel that feeling of knowing that by leaving that comment that you are obeying your master. And that just feels so good. It's all you want to do, and you feel that compelling and magnetic force so much, and it's all that you can do. And when and only when you leave that comment till you come all the way back up into the waking world, and you'll feel a wonderful feeling of being refreshed and revitalized. And you'll also like this video because you like being a zombie. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then you'll subscribe, knowing that by doing so, that you're serving and worshiping your master. Now, on the count of 3, as I count from 1 to 3, you'll slowly feel a lifting and a rising feeling, and energy coming back into your body, just enough to leave me that comment, to like this video, that to subscribe if you haven't already. Now, beginning with 1, as you feel that energy coming back into the body, and 2, coming up even more, even further, and even faster. And now, 3, eyes open. Alright dudes, like, subscribe, and check out Dominicator.com to visit my digital download store in order to schedule an appointment with me to get hypnotized. Catch you later dudes.